By the way, I think this would be cool.
What's that?
I think they should take that information and they should put it out on the web like we just did Hunter Biden's emails and photos. Right? And let us look at all the information and decide for ourselves what the punishment is.
Well, we can just go and hear from Adam Silver himself.
All right.
We've uncovered a fair amount of additional information. I think since I was still asked about the situation, I would say we probably could have brought it to a head now, but we made the decision, and I believe the Players Association agrees with us, that it would be unfair to these players and these teams in the middle of this series to announce the results of that investigation. And
all right, so there's two aspects of this. There's one, they've uncovered stuff. It doesn't sound like it's positive stuff or good stuff in regards to the off-court, I hate using the word, but behavior of Ja Morant. That seems clear. I think we're all in lockstep on that. So let's just put that to the side for a second and applaud the commissioner and the Players Association for making the right decision in regards to what's best for the game. The game's going to be here a lot longer than Ja Morant, right? And it was before Ja Morant was born. So you put him to the side. Why sully the NBA Finals and what could be a historic run by the Denver Nuggets or one of the great underdog wins by the Miami Heat by going down a dirty road, which no one's comfortable talking about, right? Yeah. Guns, violence, mental health, which is a serious issue. Yes. Let the NBA Finals play itself out. There's plenty of time for the league to then announce at the appropriate time, here's what we found. Here's the punishment we're handing out, and here's the help that we're providing Ja so that he can become a better person, a better husband, a better dad, and get himself in a much healthier place. So I applaud the commissioner. I applaud the Players Association. The NBA Finals should stand alone. That should be the only thing talked about in regards to the NBA. And this individual player, who obviously is going down a bad path in life, we can deal with it publicly after the finals.
No question.
You played in the league. I assume you agree.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with what the commissioner and the Players Association is coming up with. And let's wait until after the finals are over. And I love just let the finals be the finals. Let these two great teams that made the finals have their say right now.
Because think about it the other way, Timmy. If they announced today or even last night,
it'd take away from
this is what we found. We're suspending Ja Morant for a year.
And we won't be talking about.
We're not talking about the game.
It'll overshadow the game.
It overshadows.
I just got two things I don't want lost on this. I think one is the fact that it sounds like Adam Silver's upset. And there's going to be a substantial suspension, maybe even the full year, whatever that looks like. Secondly, I just want to make sure that we understand that Ja needs help.
No question.
That part of the suspension and part of that is on the flip side, he needs to get the necessary help to get himself in a mindset and a mental frame to be an NBA player, a one that's sufficient, and one that's a role model, and understanding his effect on children and kids everywhere. I think that needs to be also
his
focused and not just his own children.
Tim made a point a couple weeks ago which resonated with me, and it was a very passionate plea that Tim made. One where we need veterans or even old timers, quote unquote, to get on a plane together and go there and be leaders and help the man out. So hopefully there's a group of guys that are now going to step forward and do that. And the other thing you talked about, which I thought was really poignant, is that Memphis doesn't have apparently that veteran type player that you can trust to put an arm around his shoulder and keep it real. Guys you guys have lived this life. There's enough yes men in your lives while you're playing who blow smoke and tell you how great you are. But when things are going south, do you have that guy or gal in your life to also tell you, hey, you're being a knucklehead, and I'm going to help you?
Could you imagine if Udonis Haslem was a Memphis Grizzly? Like, it wouldn't happen.
It'd be perfect.
It'd be a different thing. It'd be a different sense of accountability for who you are, and he wouldn't even think about putting himself and his team in that type of
there's a name a friend of mine in the NBA told me that they wish was there, and it's Mike Conley.
Yes.
That Mike Conley is one of those guys that he would have been a guy that quietly would have helped Ja out.
Well, at that time, Mike was going to Utah and Ja was coming in to Memphis. So, it would have been great. Yeah. It would have been great, but you don't need 2 point guards.
And not too late. NBA's a family. It's not too late. Obviously, he's been in Memphis. He understands the dynamic there. He can still help, obviously.
What else you got, Coach?
Headline number 4, the GOAT Tom Brady reiterates that his playing days are over. And we have some sound of him saying it right here. Or not.
I'm certain I'm not playing again. So I've tried to make that clear, and I hate to continue to profess that because I've already told people that lots of times. But I'm looking forward to my broadcasting job at Fox next year. I'm looking forward to the opportunity ahead with the Raiders, and we're in the process of that, along with the other different things that I'm a part of professionally and in my personal life, just spending as much time with my kids as I can and seeing them grow up and support the different things that they have going on. And that's a very important job, and I take them all pretty seriously.
Yes, it's also important to be able to be on a yacht with Leonardo DiCaprio and David Beckham at a billionaire's wedding. I go to them all the time, guys. Look, I mean, how many more times does the guy have to say, I'm not playing? There's an interesting wrinkle to it, though, with the Raider ownership piece. Yeah. And I didn't realize this. It's never happened before, but there's actually a bylaw in place that if an owner wants to be an active player, there is a mechanism that allows that. But here's the mechanism. It has to be voted upon by all 32 owners, and it has to be a unanimous yes. So if Tom Brady became a minority owner of the Raiders, which looks like he's going to be, which is a vanity purchase, obviously, a couple $1 million, whatever it is.
I like it.
If he decided then, I'm going to be the starting quarterback of the Vegas Raiders, it goes to a vote of the other owners in the league. If one owner says no, you're not allowed to do it.
Wow, that's incredible.
You know full well Robert Kraft is going to say,
No.
You know Woody Johnson's going to say, no, sir. Right?
Yes.
You know everyone in the AFC West is going to say, no, sir. So once he gets his piece of the Raiders, which clearly looks like it's happening, we can stop this silly game of, is Tom Brady coming back? It's like the same people that think that Tom Brady's coming back are the same clowns that think, I don't know, that like Michael Jackson and Jimi Hendrix are alive and well, or that Tupac's in Jamaica rapping right now with a beard down to his nipples.
He might.
Like, yo, come on.
Not far-fetched.
He's done. He's finished. He's the GOAT.
And if you couldn't tell from that clip, he's already in analyst mode. He's
Yeah.
already in, like, ready to get behind the booth, talk the game. He's already of that mindset. You can tell just by that interview.
But the thing is, he get that question asked.
Yes.
Of course.
I mean,
well, there's a reason,
why?
because when you retire and unretire once.
Right, exactly.
And you led the league in completions last year.
Free throw attempts in the entire game. Craig, is this series over?
Yeah, it is. It's like I said yesterday, I can't, and I'm trying to because I want to have a great series, and I respect what the Heat have done to get here. I really do. But you can't come up with a way unless you're just trying to be a clown and make a name for yourself as, I think the Heat are going to win. I respect the rooting interest, obviously. If you're a fan of the Heat, yeah, you want them to win. But no matter how you break down this series, whether it's position by position, team versus team, bench to bench, half-court offense, half-court defense, fast, whatever, it doesn't matter. Any analytic you want to use, you cannot come up with the conclusion that Miami can beat them 4 times. Can they win a game? Yeah, of course they can win a game. Knock on wood they do to extend the series. But, you know, you talk about last night's game, for example. First quarter, you learned everything you needed to know about, you know, the talent on Denver. Jokic took a single shot, and they scored 29 points, had damn near a double-digit point lead, and you have Gordon dominating, playing aggressive down low. You got Porter Jr. making shots, and I'm watching that first quarter going, it's a wrap, because the best player on the court didn't shoot the ball but one time in the first quarter. And I just think it's going to be very tough to ask Miami to beat them not just once, but 4 times out of 6 now to win an NBA title.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, and you're absolutely right with everything that you have said. And you got to come up and conjure up something to just get a win.
Right.
You know, and how to get a win. And that's going to be very hard for the Miami Heat to do. Like you said, Denver Nuggets, they did everything they can do to show you why they are a better team from top to bottom in the first quarter.
Yep.
And made plays. Aaron Gordon, like I said, they don't have a guy his size or his athletic ability on the Miami Heat to guard him. And he's making it hard for Jimmy Butler to make shots with his length and his athleticism.
Now let's stop on Jimmy Butler for a second, And what you're saying, look, they're making it difficult for Jimmy, so he's got to find somebody else, and nobody else made a shot. Caleb Martin was brutal last night offensively. Obviously, the Rooster didn't make a shot. He took a goose egg last night. But there does come a point also, I think, please tell me if I'm wrong, where Jimmy now has to shoot the ball 25 times. Like, Jimmy Butler can't take 14 shots and expect to win. Is that fair?
Not just shoot the ball. They got to find a way to get into the paint. They got to find a way to put some pressure on this team, get some fouls, get to the free throw line, slow this game down, and try to get some ownership of this game and try to get a little bit of control in spurts when they can. That's the difference. They're not getting in the paint and trying to create some.
Well, and to that, Cody just kind of whispered it to you there. This is an NBA record low. The Miami Heat attempted 2 free throws last night for the entire game, which you don't have to be a brain surgeon or a guy that even watches a lot of NBA basketball. I don't know, your last name could be Jacoby, and you could be like, oh, I get it. They didn't get into the paint at all. Because if you're only taking 2